Do you believe that you are primarily a vibrational match to your own desire? It's a good thing when you are. It's a good thing when you believe that you are. It's a good thing when you know you're not. Do you believe you always are? No. And is it a problem when you are not? So, what is the advantage of being a vibrational match to your own desire? It feels good. That's right. And that's primary. We're pleased that someone knows that. Because when you are a vibrational match to your own desire, then you are not offering resistance, which is the only thing that slows your desire down in terms of manifestation. If knowing that you feel good when you are a vibrational match, when you know that consciously, and if that's happening in the moment, then you can be assured that in a very short order of time, that good feeling will parlay itself into obvious, tangible, manifested evidence of the absence of resistance and the presence of alignment. For a long time, we've been calling these gatherings the art of allowing. And that really speaks to the core of the message that we offer to you. Because you are such deserving beings, and you've come forth as creative genius into an environment of variety and contrast, so that you can focus your desire into being, so that you can, first of all, discover the desire, the always evolving, ever amended desire, so that you can discover it and discover it and discover it. But the art of allowing is not just about discovering it, it's about tuning to it. It's about becoming one with it. It's about focusing upon desire so purely that you get the thrill of that alignment. But it's not just the thrill of alignment, it's the thrill of creation. It's the thrill of directing the energy that creates worlds toward an object of attention that is important to you. But before you can consciously and chronically focus this powerful energy that creates worlds toward your personal objects of attention, you have to first feel worthy of doing it. In other words, if you don't believe that you have the ability to harness this powerful energy and flow it, then you won't even try. When you believe that you are creator, when you understand that you are source energy in these physical bodies, and that you've come for the express purpose of gathering data and coming to personal, important conclusions, that in the focusing of that which you give your attention to, you have access to everything that is necessary for the creation of anything that you desire. So the components are simple. You must come to a focused desire, and that's not a problem because you can't help but do that. Life just causes you to keep focusing that desire. When you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. And the more you know what you don't want, the more you know what you do want. Life just clearly focuses that desire. But that desire shoots out of you in sort of fits and starts. It shoots out of you in the middle of contrasting experiences. When you really know what you don't want, you really know what you do want, and you emanate a rocket that goes to the boundaries of this boundaryless universe, where the source within you receives the message, understands it fully, and holds that vibrational place that you have launched in your rocket. You usually, once you launch a rocket, are nowhere near a consistent frequency of it, because you're sort of wrapped up in the contrast that produced it. So you've got some of what you don't want, some of what you do want, some of what you don't want, some of what you do want. But here was this rocket of what you do want, and you're not usually especially when you first launch that rocket, you're not a consistent vibrational match to it. That is your work. You must tune yourself to the frequency of your highest desires. You must tune yourself to the frequency of your highest good. Now, your inner being has already done that. Your inner being is tuned to the frequency of who you really are and all that you've asked for, and stands in what we are calling a vibrational reality. We call it your vortex of creation. Your inner being, the larger part of you, stands in that vibrational place, holding vibrational tone or frequency to what you have reached for, that most that you have become. And because your inner being holds that place marker, holds it until you offer another, and then holds that one until you offer another, and then holds that one until you offer another. Because the source within you holds those vibrational frequencies, you now have guidance that is reasonably felt and understood by you. In other words, your emotions let you know in every single moment whether you are in tune with that highest good, with that highest asking, with that highest calling, with that highest becoming, or whether you are not. When you are joyful, you're right on the mark. When you are full of vim and vigor, when you are frisky, you're right on that vibrational mark. When you are feeling love or appreciation, you're right there. But in frustration, you're not there. In anger, you're not even close to there. In frustration, you're closer. In anger, you're further from it. In depression, you're very far away. So what we want you to understand is that you are your primary work. Your primary work is as the personal synthesizer of the vibrational frequencies between you and who you really are. We want you to understand that this gap between where your inner being is holding the frequency of your highest good and where you may be holding the frequency of whatever's got your attention right here, right now, this red hot minute, there is a vibrational variance often between those two frequencies. And that variance is the emotion that you feel. The greater the variance, the worse you feel. The smaller the variance, the better you feel. The important thing to know about this is that this variance is not considering what anyone else is doing. It's not a variance that says somebody has more money than you. It's not a variance that says somebody is doing a better job of living their life than you. It hasn't got anything to do with anyone else. Your emotions are only about your gap between who you're allowing yourself to be because of what you're focused upon, meaning what you're thinking about now, what you're focused upon now, what you're remembering, what you're imagining. Whatever you've got your attention upon right now is causing you to offer a signal, an important signal that is your point of attraction. So the question that this gathering wants to help you ask more succinctly and answer fully is, when you're offering a signal, is the signal that you're offering on the mark of the signal that the inner being within you is offering, or is it off the mark? When it's in sync, you feel the fulfillment, you feel the alignment, you feel the oneness, you feel the attunement, you feel the energy that creates worlds at your fingertips for your utilization. Now, what happens when you get cross current of who you are? Well, first of all, you don't feel good. In other words, when you are focused upon something unwanted and you're holding it as your object of attention for a period of time, that unwanted thing that you're focused upon gains momentum. And as it gains momentum, you get further and further apart from who you really are. Now, the whole time you're focused upon unwanted things, you're shooting off rockets like the 4th of July. In other words, when you are focused upon what you don't want, you are asking with precision and definition for the equivalent opposite of it. When you're sick, you're asking for wellness and so forth. When you know what you don't want, you are asking for what you do want. So it's interesting, the longer you live in these physical bodies on this magnificent planet interacting with one another, the longer you interact, the more rockets you shoot off, which means the more your vortex expands with the fullness of who you really are, which is a wonderful thing if you are aware of your emotions and tuning yourself frequently into alignment. But it's not such a good thing if you just keep launching the rockets and then obsessing on the absence of desire. So many people really believe that the way to solve a problem is to fixate on the problem, because they don't understand that the vibrational frequency of the problem is very different than the vibrational frequency of the solution. The solution is already complete and being held for you by the source within you in its vibrational readiness for your alignment with it. But you will not find the solution while you're beating the drum of the problem. You will create more solutions while you beat the drum of the problem. In other words, sometimes it is to your advantage to really dig into something and really identify everything about it that is bothersome to you. Because in doing so, you're launching rockets, expanding, expanding. But what most humans do, we'll just give it to you straight out here. What most humans do is obsess over problems, create massively in their vortex, and never go near it. Rarely enter into their vortex. They have to go to a football game where they are not focused upon their problem. They have to be distracted in some way, and then they'll have glimpses of elation, and then they'll think the football game made them happy, when what made them happy was the distraction from the vibration of the problem, which is keeping them from the solution, which is their and your eternal quest, you see. So we have, over time, as we've been playing with so many of you, we've come across many analogies to assist you in understanding this vibrational variance. We want you to understand that you were source energy before you came into this physical body, and the larger part of you remained in what is, by your terms, non-physical, non-manifested energy, consciousness form. The larger part of you is there. And so here part of this consciousness came into you, and here you are, this personality that you know as you and others know as you, moving about, knowing what you don't want, knowing what you do want. And as you are deciphering your life and coming to conclusions about what you want, the larger part of you is expanding. We want the physical part of you to take the expansion close on the heels with when you launch the rockets. And that really is the advantage of a gathering like this. If we can help you to understand and return to your knowledge that you are source energy in these physical bodies, and if we can coach you into vibrational alignment with who you really are, then and only then do you live the joyful, fulfilling, satisfying, moment by moment life experience that you were born to live. It is our promise to you. You did not come forth to fix broken things. You didn't come forth to reconcile things. You didn't come forth to get everybody to think like you did. You came because you were a creator, and a creator must create. And you create with the energy or the clay of energy. You create through vibration, which means you create through thought, which means you create through mind, which means you create through thinking, through focusing. And as life causes you to offer thoughts, you can tell in every moment where that thought is in relationship to the highest good that the source within you is holding.